power to this computer. There you go.
Okay.
Cool. Gotcha. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so keep possession clearing and then okay, buttons, blocks. Let's see. What's your general location again?
So I'm by Liverpool, Northwest England.
And what's your age, if you don't mind me asking? Make it fun.
49.
Okay. You wanted to know about a DNA catalog facility?
Yeah. So it's come up in other things that I'm a record keeper who is a Time Lord, and I'm responsible for DNA archiving, right? And David Purcell said there's three facilities or three organizations that I work for to do that work. And I just wondered if you could pick anything up about it.
For humans?
No, for the galaxy.
What is the factions he says you're working for?
He didn't get an idea, he just knew there were three factions or like three corporations that were responsible for cataloging all the DNA. And he said he could see me at a facility and I was like in charge of the facility. And it was multi-species, but people were listening to me. I was in some kind of authority. Because Audrey also picked up on the archiving. So when I researched into that and saw about the genetics, I thought it's definitely that. Because even as a scientist, I do genetic work. And I've had a new memory, me holding an arm, like a severed arm.
Okay, I'm going to tune into it.
Pardon?
I'm going to tune into it and I'll see if I can track things back for him.
Sure.
And what about the Time Lord?
Yeah, so that's just part of being a record keeper is you need to have that Time Lord DNA. So that's been confirmed by Audrey Walters. So I just wondered if you could get anything else on that. Like she thought maybe one of my parents was Time Lord and the other one was a hybrid of something else. So do I have a
Um,
family?
do you know your parents?
No.
You
Or
were
like
adopted?
my parents here? Like, yeah, I know my
Oh,
parents
okay.
here, but
Or you just, oh, yeah,
they're
that's
past. I'm
fine.
talking about my galactic parents for
Oh,
that other
you're talking
aspect.
about DNA introducers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because it's like because I've got the Time Lord DNA, they're using me to make time soldiers, right? And the same with my counterpart. He's also Time Lord DNA. It's funny when we started this in February, didn't know any of this stuff.
And any questions you had about it or anything like
Yeah,
that?
I just want to know what you can get off that. Like, if that's the role that I'm doing, what does that look like? You know?
See.
We still got camouflage on this.
I'm just getting the whole picture.
Okay.
Mhm. Just making sure of it because I want to tell you things that I read accurately. Hmm. Genetic side. Mhm. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just so like feel free to take in what other people say and all that.
Yeah,
I'm not basing what I'm reading off of other people, so I'm just gonna give you
sure.
what I'm reading.
Okay.
Okay, so with the Time Lord DNA concept, I've tuned into that before. It's similar to what's disclosed. There is a species, there's multiple species that are good at time travel, some that have figured out it through intelligence and understanding, to technological, to then psionic. And there are individuals of species that have brought it out, as well as some that get it from other species. So then I would rank, I guess, the top time travel management species that's granted. You could put that title on them for this galaxy. Other galaxies have their own as well, if you want to put that title on them as well. The Andromeda one is more psionic. The one here in this galaxy is more technological and intelligence based, though it has consciousness viewing abilities to a high degree, though they're at war with predators that have stolen abilities and tech and are in a time war with them. Okay, so they're trying to solve problems in their species as they've been cut down in their capabilities and limited in their species as they're hunted. Some have come here as Earth is a cure for a lot of races problems. It looks like you have their DNA.
Okay.
It was added to you while you're in the womb. So multiple DNA lineages are added to you while you're in the womb. So you can branch off from that multiple different things doing that. Some don't want to be talked about yet, but you can as you're ready and you unfold into it.
Okay.
This seems let me just make sure on this. Um, it's kind of weird how they work. 1 second. This is not exactly like how the show speaks of their species and how they operate. Um, their fertility is been challenged quite a bit. They're they're not exactly a masculine or feminine thing. Um, it appears they have some type of a kind of sexual thing going on where they can generate their species from themselves. It's
That's
there's
kind of
some
cool.
potency with place of power though to do that. So there's things I need to do with that. Um, mm, okay. Yeah, so that it's not really a male or female thing. Um, that's added to you. I'm looking at the different reasons. Uh, you've been in their species before in so your soul, yeah, they're doing there's a lot of camouflage around it, so I'm like, okay, what can I ask? Not a lot of, damn it. Okay, what can okay, well, there's things with uh can I open that up if I ask permission? No. Okay. There's reason there's a whole like it's because it's camouflage in time what how it like came to be and why you and all that because that appears to be something that could be countered with time travel, so things don't want that made public or
Okay.
unless it's very securely looked at. Mhm. Yeah, it
Okay.
goes into even reading minds. Okay. So that goes with the counter to them. Mm. So otherwise, that's solidified. Then your thing with them, it's okay with me talking about missions. Okay. If you want to access your DNA,
Yeah.
one, two, vision, and like reading it like an internal book or a computer, you're getting streams of information from into your mind. So it's like knowingness from the heart, truth, and vision amplification if you want to access it in meditation. I want you to do that. And then there's reading the records of it,
Mhm.
especially the things to resolve. One, it's going to the planet, which is the biggest wound, their home planet, which that there's soft disclosure in that with Doctor Who, where there's timeline wars, but so there's the concept of what that looks like around the planet, and that brings it to like a crazy flux of time where it exists in out of the superposition of the wave function collapse because of multiple probabilities constantly being warred over. Uh, And then four, it's pretty much disappeared. Um,
Do I have like a family, like siblings and stuff? Can you see that?
okay, so, mm, the answer is yes, but that is secure information as well because it's
Okay.
timeline war sensitive. Okay, so then but there's like a project between multiple individuals. Some know are joined in grouping, and some are separate coming here, the planet, for the cure here. Okay, so there's one, two, three. Okay, so you'd be gaining knowledge from the DNA records and gaining more information about it, and your goal is to have that unload into you, especially with questions about the missions. Um, okay, the next thing it wants you to go into is, yep, that, and okay. Ah, so there's two aspects that like mostly define the missions on Earth. So it's resolving the planet, figuring out how to, which is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
It's like breaking down and gaining all these abilities and knowingness and figuring out how it works and then unraveling to cease the timeline war. Now, the bigger solution that people have gained so far from that and how to do that is with Earth and this human species. Part of it, we're engaged in the timeline war as well. And some of the timeline war from that planet has attached to us, as well as many other planets and all the species of the 10,000 races. A lot of them have timeline wars in some way. Some are better managed than others that are interlinking with us. So the goal is to make humanity, or at least individuals of humanity, more likely empowered in time psionics and awareness and monitoring and capabilities and power and ability to influence and repair and resolve time from predators in attachment in the timeline war up through the difficulties up to the high difficulty timeline wars, which would have among them the Time Lords of this galaxy. And so that takes a bunch of abilities going through the time mystery school, which we can get into if you want. And if let me just cover up all the details of different subjects so you get like a skeletal system of where to take off with this. Yeah, you can unite. You can also unite with others that are doing the same and have the Time Lord DNA and Time Lords themselves um, to make it so that the collective is stronger and pushing towards the remedy, which, ultimately means this time. This planet's time travel wars get resolved, though planets connect and species connected to us get resolved all the way up to the top difficulty ones. And since nothing's set in stone with that, that can be resolved eventually. It's a tall order. But it can
So
be done.
what can I do practical steps to try and remember this stuff and to move forward then? Is this something I should be
Um,
focusing on, or is this something else I should focus on right now?
Well, you got to build up all your capabilities to where it
Hmm.
comes easily, where you can read into this
Yeah.
quickly and write and journal notes on forming an equation that is the solution in gaining overpowered time abilities and authority to then, let's see, one, two, yep,
It's a long way off, I think that.
1 second. It's the solutions based in to end time on wars. You're essentially getting stolen time abilities away from predators and preventing them from getting them back in time.
Is
In whatever
is this
way
about the
that
technology, or is this about?
technology and psionics. Yes,
Okay.
there's pivotal moments in time where species get technology, like with Earth too, with the human
I know
species.
about the time travel ring, pendant, bracelet, things like that. So are we meant to be getting those back? Like,
Time travel
okay.
ring.
Yeah.
Um, for what species?
On here, this planet, we had a time travel ring. It's in my ACIO records that I had the original ring, but I handed it over to whoever was in charge of the program, like Kruger or somebody, and then they tried to replicate it.
Okay.
So, but there's other jewelry and stuff like that, and then there's a crystal, which is what I remembered initially was the crystal pendant.
Well, look into it.
Mm.
Hmm. Okay, so if you want me to look into Kruger, are you okay with going through a bunch of emotional turmoil?
Yeah, because
Are you sure?
um,
Because it's not
I am.
exactly fun.
No, I am now because the scientist thing has come up too many times. So I know that I am the mad scientist, the geneticist. I know that. I've had a recent visual come in of me just holding a severed arm, and I was just blank about it because I don't have a huge emotional range, remember? So, and I was just in a lab holding an arm, and I had work to do. That's how I felt. So I think I'm ready.
Okay, okay. But like you might get headaches, you might get overwhelmed.
Okay. Are you
If you're
ready?
okay, yeah, I'm just telling you because I do this for people and they do, and
I know. I know. But see, this thing is like last week I was working with David Purcell and he was talking about the Super Soldier battery pack. And I literally felt an incision go down my right side and the battery pack come out. And I had pain for like 2 days and then it was gone. It's like I had psychic surgery or something. So it's rapidly changing right now.
okay. Yeah, if you're sure.
It's on record now, isn't it? Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
You're the one that's going to see it more than I am. I'm just going to feel it, right?
It's different for different people. I'm just giving you a warning about it because that's what
Okay.
your the record the information is telling me to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I mean, it depends what projects you're going into because I've been in multiple projects.
yeah. It's a pretty okay, and I'm just looking at the warning label around it. Okay, what a
I can already feel pressure coming in, actually, third eye.
uh yeah, the warning label is targeting and handlers.
Okay. Well, I know most of the handlers are me. They're clones.
Um
You think these are
um
higher level handlers?
yeah, there's things okay, so like let me give you a range of they might try to kill you.
Oh,
So that's I'm just giving you the warning label. You might not want to
is that what it say on
pursue
the
it
warning
yet.
label? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So do you have
If there's a
okay,
possible
one, two,
death,
one, I get to.
Actually, hold on, hold on. Why have I got two Draco Guard with me at the moment temporarily? Is it to stop this?
Where are they from? What are you talking about?
Okay,
What
so
did you hear?
David saw the two Draco either side of me, and then I got a message from Audrey, and she's drawn a picture of the Draco, and I said to her, well, "Are these two guards?" And she said, "Yeah, you've been assigned temporary guards."
Oh,
So
oh, and by the way, yeah, the Kruger thing, if you want to look in that, it's telling me, do you have counter suicide programming abilities, and do you have ability to stop death energy coming at you?
unlikely right now.
So you don't have that.
No,
Okay, then
probably
you
not.
should
Not that I'm
probably
aware
not do
of.
that then.
Okay, let's not do that right now. But
All
let's at
right,
least
well,
we've brought it into
just
awareness. Okay. So what
so
can we
you can
look at?
build up to that,
Yeah.
and it's if you want to do that, it's loving detachment to death energy and then capturing it and then getting it off out of your body and capturing the generators and authorities off the being using it on you and shrinking it
I
down
thing is I've not had anything like suicide stuff come in since I was like early 20s or whatever. I got past all of that. So
I'm giving the warning because it's a high level
no, no.
one.
Okay,
And
let's not do
then
it. Let's not do it.
if you're
Okay.
okay, I'm just giving you the tools so you know what to do to get
Okay.
to that level. And
Yeah.
then the other one is suicide programming, which is usually portaled in tons of sadness, till
Okay.
overwhelming of, you know, taking over will and all that. And you
Yeah.
want to be able to transmute, get that off you, redistribute it, destroy it, or uncreate it if it's really bad. And
Yeah.
there's sometimes Hydra generators or implanted generators that can. I've had multiple types, and it's a lot of it's like you fast clearing your gut brain, and then taking back your emotional body. So
Okay.
you work on that.
All right.
You'll run into less serious ones going up.
Okay.
So you'll run into that. Just
Okay,
know
I'm not
that for
ready.
that.
I'm not ready.
All right.
Since we only
And
started doing this since February, just like 16 weeks ago, you're right, I'm not ready.
no, yeah, no
So
problem. You're doing great. I'm trying to if I should give any information on that. Okay, no.
can we
Okay.
find out a bit more
And
about what I was doing on for Kruger, at least?
what you want to go to Kruger? Wait,
I just
what?
wanna I just wanna okay, so I've got like three science lab memories. I've got like four or five super soldier memories. That's about it. So, but I know that I've got the Monarch and the Umbrella, and I was rescued by Kruger, and then they put me into their own programs. That's as far as I've got, right? So, you think we should just leave it, or should we expand on it?
I'm looking to see if there's anything that um
'Cause I'm still pretty detached, and that's what makes me so good
yes.
as being an assassin, apparently. Don't put yourself in harm's way.
I want to tell you about that. Okay, how much? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so what I can tell you is it looks like you're being sent to the future with how? Mhm. Okay. Ah, it's like you're in like a project to defend colonies against invading species from another galaxy. There's like DNA tech and knowledge you're involved in. I would say scientists. That's an all there you have the tech to bring out uh, knowledge from past lives, which seems to be coming from. Well, wait 1 second. It's kind of weird because it's not exactly a past life. It's another version of you that's engaged in high level genetics and having to do with Lyra and the time war of Lyra with Draco. And it has a high level of knowledge there for advanced abilities for soldier making for that war. And they're bringing that conscious aspect of you into that version of you. I mean that yeah, that is in the that would be sent to the future.
Is there a plan for me unlocking these memories and stuff? It, are they
Okay,
literally like
let's
not
see.
letting me go and see?
Okay.
It's getting weird.
Yeah, let me
So
go to
why
the
why am I like getting some info and then I get blocked on it and then
well, people are in control of things and they're using the people on this planet as like um, workforce. It
yeah, but
disrupts the timeline when people remember. So they're not really in the habit of wanting people to remember at all. So if you want to remember, you have to do it yourself and you have to force it. It's not allowed,
mm,
technically. And unless you do it yourself. But even then, there's still blocks you gotta understand and get through. Um, so your path of remembering is making it where you remember it. And if you want like a greater recall concept to come
yeah,
about, mm, okay, what is being used against you? If you like for this thing, mm, it's technological amnesia barriers
yeah.
for these.
Am I
And
like still am I still actively getting mind wiped?
like actively, you mean like if you're being taken still?
Yeah. It's like some people have got all of their memories and they're connected to me and I've got like hardly anything.
They don't have all their memories. They just have select ones of a specific timeline. And timelines usually are long.
Yeah,
So even with that, that seems like they got a lot. So that's, good anyway. But
yeah.
the people I read, they don't have all the times they've been visited.
Okay.
Um, yeah. If you, okay. Yeah, the part of it is let me see how this works. No, pressed. It's like sealed. Um, memory is in the altars. The altars are mostly in the soul, in the solar plexus, and there's a little bit in the conscious mind. So you're looking towards your soul and your conscious mind. The soul branches off the conscious. The conscious mind both centers in the solar plexus and the head, just so you know. The soul, conscious mind, ego, alters. Alters have compartmentalization around them, and there's all kinds of control mechanism around them, like
Can
sealing.
you can you tell if I actually alter out in the here and now?
Most of it is done after you're taken.
Okay.
The older types that people talk about aren't is it's kind of technologically obsolete, as in it's a greater chance of remembering.
Yeah.
So if your main thing you're wanting to do, have to figure out in the pathway is how to activate the altar, which there's all these systems and it's through vision work.
How
There's
can I
going to be a
activate the
bunch of
altar
distractions.
if I don't know who they are?
It's you.
Yeah, but it's not me
It's a
though, is it?
part of you.
Okay.
Everything is you. As well, though it is. I mean, you can also say the ego is not you. It's in
Mm.
you. It's a separate aspect of you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so it's good to own it. It's just not let it control you to where it's like
yeah.
convinces it's you and then makes you do things.
I've got some people saying to me that all the aspects and alters, they're all you, own it, and then I've got other people saying don't own it, don't own it.
Yeah, that's the confusion, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's kind
because
of
you're
a
going
mix
to
of both.
experience all the trauma if you own it. So
Yeah, the way out is owning it, but like the what people are saying rejected, it's
I'm
more
not trying
like
to
going
reject.
into, I know. They're going into that it's not you, and most people in their life think every thought they have is them, and they just go
Yeah,
along with whatever it is. And that's the concept. You
yeah,
recognize what's not your thoughts, but a compartmentalized aspect that needs healing and remedy
yeah,
to where it doesn't cause you differential trouble.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm, okay. So then, yeah. So
Oh,
you'd go into vision work. You
okay.
do muscle testing to test your vision, and then you'd want to have the goal of accessing and activating the altar, and then
Yeah,
focusing on it for a fair amount of time, and then stuff starts to impact more and more. If you get to the core of it, around the core is going to be a bunch of distractions or repellents or things to put you off track. Your goal
yeah.
is to lock onto the eminence of the energy of the altar and the memory and push through whatever is getting in between you and that.
It
And
sounds really scary. What if I get
um
lost? I'm not ready for that anyway yet. Like, because I'm
okay.
still thinking, oh, what if I get lost in there? What if they come out and I go back? And so I'm not ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just tools of like astral combat and vision work to overcome anything you see. And
Well,
then
astral
a lot of
combat
it's
I
like
need.
uncreation.
I need the astral combat. I need to be able to access all the martial arts training that I've had in other aspects. I don't
Okay.
know. Okay.
Is that what you want to go into?
What?
Is
Can
that
you
what you want to go
download?
into?
Well, no, I need to be able to protect myself, especially if I need counter suicide programs and counter death programming. I need to be able to protect myself.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so astral combat is like in your mind and visions. The astral layer
Mm.
is like the ghosts and afterlife and
Yeah,
demons and the wild west of like when beings that are separate from body or want to incarnate or exit.
yeah,
Um,
uh,
and it connects to the mind and thoughts and mental constructs that you make in your imagination. So you imagine something and you create it. Now, your
yeah,
astral body center is in your heart. So your generators for your astral body are in your heart. So the more astral energy you produce, you can produce more energy of different. things that you need and create.
Okay.
You practice like it's like there's concepts of it you can look online where an opponent will make some kind of vision, usually make it scary or overpowered, and your goal is to imagine and be creative to envision something that can outcreate that, and then collapse it out of existence or as a threat, destroyer and creates,
Okay.
etc.
Yeah.
And you can use your ring finger in the center of your palm and amplify your empowerment and vacuum to the areas of your body that need support. Like if you're getting overwhelmed with emotion, then you go to the sacral. And if you want to empower the astral body, go to the heart. And if you need more power, solar plexus or whatever. If it's hard to see or what, you go through a process of facing fears one at a time. A lot like internal and external fears, and you hug yourself while cultivating conditional love until all the fear ball shrinks down and collapses out of existence. That you either transmute or redistribute where it needs to go. Um, And you're gonna like if it's external fears, which you're gonna face, which are like usually the things that don't want you to see or want to drain your third eye, which are gonna be like psychic parasites. And then you're gonna come up against the small ones, and you're gonna practice getting rid of them and capturing them, or there's all kinds of methods and then getting them out of there, and then you'll go up to bigger and bigger ones until you get to the bigger ones that are stealing from people, whole towns or city, continent, country, planet, and then going up and up and up until you're at least detached from most of those. Then you go keep going down the mystery school until you've in seeing what would be blocking you. And it's kind of you're seeing with your heart and empathy too. It's like, oh, it kind of feels like an octopus attached to my head, or and then you kind of feel into it until it kind of sees, and then you can create a counter to it, and then test your ability with that. And of course, you can always your vacuum portal and create constructs energetically, and then see if they're working. Death, it's energy, it's volatile, it has consciousness like a baby, you surround it in a blanket of loving detachment so it can't get on you or attach to you, but you're like giving it love. Oh, I'm going to be a much better caretaker than that asshole. He was abusing you and using you on people that don't deserve that. And then spread with love and gratitude, the flame back to and do this with any volatile energy, back to the core of the generator that's utilizing the ability in the being. It's now you liberate it and to where it's now yours with enough love and neutering the being that was using it, and shrinking them down in size and capability because they're parasites. They didn't earn abilities, they steal them. So you can unravel that sweater of that makes them bigger than they really would be.
So I know in the last 4 months I've come on a lot, but I'm going to be watching this one back for about a year
Sure. Sure,
because it's just
and save it
like
under like death
Jesus.
proofing if you want, if you ever feel like you're getting a heart attack or whatever else. And I told you about suicide program, which is you're gonna get overwhelmed with sadness. Either you want to figure out if they put a generator inside you, or more likely they're open a portal and they're flowing sadness in. And your
Yeah,
goal is
I generally just get a lot of anxiety. They dump
anxieties in
anxiety on me.
this anxieties in the solar plexus. It has
Yeah,
attachment and feeling of threat. Usually means something stealing from your power. Use
yeah,
this on your solar plexus and you get the sun that they're going after of power burning brightly until it engulfs the anxiety, the threads of attachment, and all the threats with love and gratitude and spreads and then shrinks them down. And that can go automatically as you go in faith and you feel it shrink down until all anxiety goes away and you're transmuting or redistributing anxiety like a bubble. You're hugging around until it shrinks down to nothing. And that will come from either something in your body, your environment, or a wound in your timeline, and you're closing those back doors and
Yeah.
fortressing them so they don't come up again. Um, okay. So I
Can I
can go ahead.
can I have some healing now? So I'm
Yeah,
really
sure.
depressed now.
Okay, depression.
No, no, I'm just saying that's really overwhelming. It's like that's a lot. How old
Yeah,
are you? Literally, how old are you? Because that's like, how do you know all that?
um, I'm temporal dilated consciousness. So this
Yeah,
body is
you're not wrong.
32.
Yeah,
You wouldn't believe it if I said it in the mind.
yeah. No, I can see it. I can see that you're ancient.
Thanks, appreciate that. You
Yeah.
too. Okay,
I,
so it does look like you're
oh,
good at DNA, and it
yeah.
does look like you're at least your consciousness from the Lyran timeline war thing going on, having
Okay.
your consciousness mind from that in that existence, which kind of still exists. It's because it's going back in time. It's kind of hard to describe that. But
Okay.
and then reached into for multiple projects. That being said, what's the next thing you want to focus on? Because I can go into a lot of things.
Okay. Well, because there's not much I can do with that really. So I wanted, like, because I keep getting these guys coming in. I want to be able to see them. Why can't I see them?
Which guy is coming in?
Like the Draco or the
Okay,
Black
let's look it
Mantis. I've
up.
been getting a lot of Black Mantis, so that's been dealt with. But
Oh yeah, and you asked me about the Draco.
yeah, and the little Zeta Greys are still, and I've got apparently there's a grey ship over my house. But I'm hoping some of these are trying to keep me alive though.
Okay, so you, uh, yeah. So with that whole Draco War concept is the thing, with Lyra. So the Lyran beings are mass versions of them finding out solutions to the invasion, which I think Draco captured a bunch of their soul family, devoured them, and are keeping a lot of their souls in their stomachs of the hierarchy going up. And there's not really much you can do about that except two options, which is one, go be a human and gain super combine the super hybrid tech of the DNA and psionics to where you're overpowered enough to get a solution to getting those souls out. Or, and sometimes both, a lot of the people do both. Have a part of yourself incarnate into the Draco species and then go up the hierarchy, which is by combat or a psionic overwhelm, and gain power, which it looks like you're doing both. Your Draco two guards come from a version of yourself that has gained authority, and then is also
Hold on, they're aspects of me.
neutral-ish. Go ahead. Yeah. Well,
You're saying
not
these are
them. No,
okay?
they're guardians sent by a. Well, let me look at that because that's
Yeah,
not.
it's
Okay.
got to be one of the Federation councils or something. But I don't
B2,
have an allegiance. I'm neutral, right?
B2. Okay, 1 second. Mm. Mhm. Syntenize it. Okay, you can't do that. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay, so there's like two things. So some beings stay in secret so that they can go up the hierarchy continuously. Um, and they have to like, there's a lot of camouflage with that because the darker parts of the empire do all these things to spy and figure out what's going on and who would be a betrayer because they know what's going on, and see if the empathy is going up or anything like that. And then they qualify. So yours already's not doing that. Well, that the one I'm talking about. So you might have other versions of yourself in that, but the one that sent the Draco is a version of you in the Draco race that got overpowered, but then went into the empathy side. So then it's like a more positive one. And there's like a beacon thing that when you were born allowed that version of you to know about you, and then they sent guards to protect you. Um, yeah, I'd say that's a feminine version of you. But yeah, and they get pretty powerful, but they're limited on what they can do to get back the souls because they don't make it easy.
Mm.
But they're still on that mission. It's just not their priority. Their priority is looks like building a rebel version of that species is their okay. So what's the next? Oh,
That's
you
really
were
bothered me that, that's really bothered me. Eating Lyran souls. That's really gross. It's made me really
um
mad.
yeah, yeah, it's
Right?
soul family, you know how it is. Getting that back, but the way they're at war, so there's an overpoweredness that needs to be. The most successful I found is like supporting a version of you or individuals that can go up the hierarchy without exposing themselves, and then take on like tr challenge by combat the hierarchy that has them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But and then there's also ways to jailbreak them out, but that takes a lot of psionics. Okay, so why can't you see them?
Yeah.
One, two, three, four. Okay, seven. One, two, three.
What's happened?
One second. Two. Okay. So there's a lack of power, so you have to grow how much energy you're producing and being able to protect it. There's altars that are self-defeating in you that steal your energy and try to handle you. Then
Yeah.
there's the hard eye, which is like an empathic eye that when the field expands and the emotional body is more clear and pure and expansive to where you feel more deeply, and it's kind of like daydreaming, empathy, and clairaudience all in one, and you can kind of feel into stuff, and then there's like, oh, there's something there. And that's the hard eye. You gotta
Have I
get that
got that?
stronger. Yeah, everyone
So I
does. You just got to make it stronger. It's usually compressed and kept from
okay.
expanding,
Because I don't have a
and
lot of
overwhelmed.
emotion.
Yeah, blah emotion is still an emotional block. If you're
Yeah.
pure, you're usually producing like bliss, love, happiness, and joy.
Mm.
Then your
Okay.
third eye tech, um, well, yeah, your internal eye, you kind of got to do a meditation where you're cultivating already can see,
Yeah.
and you're seeing past the veils, past the blackness, into the daydream and the felt and the heart kind of thing, and see what comes up because there are things willing to give you energy to see visions and It's like getting the vehicle started, and then it's more easy to see and it gets brighter and more HD. And then like tune into the meaning and what it is, and then building off it.
Sometimes it does come in. Sometimes it's full color. Sometimes it's holographic outside of my face, and then other times it's just really dark in there, and it's
Yep.
like trying to make out all the dark images. But then lately, because since I've been doing the SSP stuff, it's like screens open. I've got TV screens, and then that goes away. So like,
Nice.
how do I hold on to the colorful holographic?
Okay, so your source is the one inspiring and giving you power to see most of the visions, 90% of them, as well as your higher self. So I'd recommend empowering those center in the heart and then asking them
Okay,
to do that for you. And also you'll have to do a to-do list of getting rid of the things that drain it and fuck with it and shut it down. Because if you want to keep it
okay,
on, that's part of the thing. Um, one, two, what's that? Then you got to get rid of all the things that make it not feel safe enough for the generator to turn on.
uh,
To that makes the brightness and HDness
yeah,
in the third eye, and there's a blocked hormone aspect in the gland.
okay. In the
Of the
pineal gland,
Yeah, the
pituitary
pineal
gland.
gland. It's very blocked, so you got to clear that up so it feels safe enough to produce the hormones.
Okay,
There's also a third eyelid, and that's one of the biggest blocks because that's the thing that closes it if it doesn't feel safe. So you're
okay,
gonna be reading into that and figure out what is making it feel not
yeah,
safe, and then making it protected enough to do so, which I can help you through in later sessions and walk you
okay.
through the schematic for that. Now
That's
that's
so sad.
You're also going to want to go through your empathic ability to feel because it's a little easier. And so the hard
Okay,
eye thing, more easy, and then it can open up more strongly. I'm I'm eventually gonna make it easier, and I'm doing a third eye show soon because a lot of people want that.
yeah,
But there's so many layers to it, and it's got overpowered predators in a system limiting people with it. So I got to build up all these foundations to make it so that it's lasting and strong as an upgrade for people that I can give.
yeah.
Okay, so sad. Why do you feel sad?
No, it's just because my whole third eye doesn't feel safe. So it's in the dark, hiding away. That's sad, right?
Okay, so practice protection abilities,
Mm,
different things you can see, imagine, and create, and build with energy you're emitting by making your generators feel safe. And you can muscle test what generator you should work on and which chakra first.
yeah,
And like in order, sometimes there's things trying to counter you, so it's good to ask which order you should be working on now because there might be layers you got to take care of first. A lot of it's in the ego, though. Um, but then the ego like overlays with all these things. So as you let go of layers of the ego and the false selves and things holding on to the ego, etc., then it's easier and easier as it feels lighter and lighter because that's kind of how the reality works, and it goes towards ascension as you go deeper into yourself, the truth of you, kind of inside your heart, deeper and deeper. The truest version of you that it's not really good vocabulary. It's like the truth as if it's you shining brightly inside you that requires you to let go of what is not that to go
okay,
deeper and onion layers coming off you.
yeah. The
Breath
only other,
work and yoga and qigong and all kinds of things
yeah,
amplify and help and learn as many different skill sets as you can to build towards solving each problem as you get to the core of your goals and becoming your greatest self.
Nice, thank you.
You got this.
This was an overwhelming session for me because I don't know, I was really confident coming in, thinking, yeah, we've done this loads now. And this one's really got me.
I'm
The only other
sorry. I
issue,
didn't mean to
no,
do that.
no, no, you're amazing. You really are. And I love our time together. And yeah, you've helped me more than anybody else. You really have.
Oh,
And
sweet of you. I appreciate that.
our sessions are like full on training sessions. And yeah, but I feel really like tired after this one. I do.
Okay, let's see. Uh, yeah, I don't want you to be tired. So, if you want to overcome fatigue, because I
Mm,
mastered cured chronic fatigue syndrome, it's either drain of something,
mm,
yin emotion like sadness, that's like a black hole that sucks away energy, or actual
yeah.
fatigue energy. For you, it's
I'm
mostly
feeling a bit
drain.
I'm feeling a bit of yin emotion now
Okay,
on this
then
info.
I'll read it. I'll read where that is, and you can take care of it. All right, so your most of your drain is coming from your solar plexus,
Mm,
and it's
yeah,
your self-defeating altars. To resolve
yeah,
altars, it's about cutting them off from more threats coming in, like a predator or a demon attached to them, capturing that, getting rid of it, whatever. Fortressing the altar, safe, healing, love, evil antidote, and whatever, and shrinking all that down while hugging it, and then seeing a distance factor from it not wanting to interact with you to it eventually wanting to integrate with you. Like, and you're like, oh,
okay,
it's a solar system away from wanting to integrate with you. And you like give it enough love, it'll start coming in and closer and get rid of its fear that it's going to stop existing or something.
yeah,
And you're going to become like a hydra of intelligence kind of thing. With multiple perspective, it doesn't stop existing,
yeah.
it adds to you and then it becomes more. Um, and
Awesome.
your So you give it that until that clears up, and a lot of your solar plexus will be your main power center. So you make that feel safer too. And you make
Mm,
the sun, it's draining off of brighter and burn with love and faith and gratitude until it engulfs whatever the thing that's draining it and then collapses down as fuel. Then if it's the sadness, well, yeah, it's also coming from that altar. So we triggered some altars that are handling you.
okay.
And then you can read where they're coming from, when, and all that. Let's see. Example.
How
This
many altars
one
have I
was made
got?
at this one was made at age 7.
Okay.
Um, it's not really it's kind of like they're trying to spy on you and monitor you, and if they know you know they exist, they're gonna kind of it's like kicking a bee's nest. So you
Yeah.
kind of like ask that number, what am I allowed to know at least?
Okay.
Now, the numbers can get a little, like, oh, really? That many? It's mostly going to be handler programmed alters of
Yeah.
the fractured self. So it can be like in the millions, but that's just fractured selves that are handling around a more
Oh, I had
interesting
no
alter that
idea.
usually has abilities.
I had no
And that
idea.
that's they're like there to gatekeep, handle, fuck with you, stop
Jesus.
you, limit you from
Yeah.
getting to the gold treasure chest that's around the core altar that they're protecting. So the number is they could be millions and all that kind of stuff, but they're mostly just surround. You want to see them in groups, so they're usually surrounding like the treasure one, whatever that is, which is
When
usually
we when
ability.
we started this a few months back, and and I was like, "How many clones?" And you were like, "Oh, what am I allowed to say? Oh, 10,000." And it wasn't 10,000; it was millions, right? So I
Yeah,
know that
well,
you always like sugarcoat it a little bit, but you've
yeah,
just got into the
with
millions.
when
So
you look into numbers, get in the habit of knowing that it's what
yeah,
am I, it's like files on your desk, what you're ready
yeah,
for. Your higher self is holding all this weight and the source and all this to put it forward into this timeline when you can handle it. So
mm, yeah,
you challenge you want to make sure that that's working well so it's not overwhelming you. But if
yeah.
it is, then it shouldn't be too overwhelming. And that's a very
Yeah.
actually good system with
Because
as a
I was talking to
teaching.
my friend and you'd said something on one of the live shows. And she's like, oh my God, he said this. And I said, no, that's just his language to try and kind of warm you up to understanding something else. Because I get you now, you see, because we've done so many of these now. I kind of understand. You're just trying to ease people in.
Right. Right.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's crazy, and there's time travel, so there's
Yeah,
things that are gonna try to add stuff, and your goal is to become immune to a lot of stuff that shouldn't
yeah.
exist, and then at least get under control the timelines that have some purpose. But yeah, and then
Okay,
don't let it control you, and then make it so that your soul is overpowered and your abilities that are being mined overpowered to then empower those lifetimes to where they can cycle back to you. And as you change their timeline to a better thing, then it's like a circuit that they empower you. And then the goal is to fully free them eventually, but yeah, that's super not
okay.
very easy.
Can you just get a number for me, please, on my abundance blocks right now?
Yeah, you don't have a blocks. It's more of a
Oh, that's good.
hmm, where's it coming from? Okay, so there a lot of them are internal threats with the alters programmed to go after and fuck with you. So as you resolve
Okay,
and collapse a lot of those, mostly you like go back in time and prevent them from forming, but you can integrate them as well as destroy them. Depends on the you can like rate the severity that you should go to. Um, see, I'll give you kind of a thing. A lot of them you should just go back in time and prevent with enough camouflage to prevent a bunch of things from becoming aware of you that don't need to exist, but you can integrate some of them. The Yeah, and then a lot more of your abundance flow. You want to monitor it from -10 to +10. If you're create generating more abundance energy, and when we go to sleep, a lot of that's challenged kind of thing. And so to you, it's a lot of internal stuff.
Do
Um,
I have one altar that's like a super good one that's trying to battle the other altars? Give me something positive, come on.
okay, so
Because I have seen an aspect of me that looks like Captain Marvel.
yeah, those are the gold super human kind of altars. They're in your solar plexus. They're mostly dormant. So it's not like a battle's going on inside you. Your main consciousness of accumulated integrated altars is you that's battling the or resolving, better to say, the self-defeating ones and resolving that to its core. The ones that are like separate from you are mostly dormant. They're not in light, so to
Okay,
speak. Um, yeah, it's mostly your alters and your ego that has a bunch of things you need to that are attaching to you in
okay,
attachment. That's part of the pathway to enlightenment that you take off these heavy coats and it goes to a lighter state that's more free and safe to generate more and more. And you can focus on them and practice different abilities to resolve them. Ask your internal self what to do. It's the next
okay.
steps. But if you need help, I can do that with you. later. Okay, any other questions before I gotta go?
No, that's it. Thank you. I can't take any
Okay.
more. It's been
Okay.
amazing, but I've got a lot of
Okay, I
work to
hope you
do
feel
now. I need
better
to.
and let me know if you need any
Oh,
help
it's
with
just
anything.
shocking. It's just shocking. That's all. It just is. But we made
Yeah, I
really
know
good
the
progress.
things, yeah, exactly. The things we gotta do in this
Yeah,
world to
we
rear
made a lot
itself
of
forward.
progress there. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you do. You're growing like a lot. A lot of your
Yeah.
magic is coming online. Your higher self is bigger. Increased your intelligence, your consciousness expanded, you increased your power level. Yeah, there's a lot of things you've been doing. Good job.
In 16 weeks. Yeah. It's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, congratulations. Yeah, let me know how things go if you need